Well, hello. Another Sunday evening. It's been light a bit longer, but it's dark now. I've no idea if you're getting the subtitles, so there is a way that I can switch them off, but I can't be bothered, to be quite honest. If everything else is working, I'll just put up with subtitles. Hello, Rona. Hello, Phil. Hi, Kevin. And hello, Mike. Okie dokie. A few people here, so I will start. So I'm going to start off with a Chris Christopherson song. This song is often performed locally by a great band called I Hobos, who play what they call kunk, a mixture of country and punk. And when they play it, it's 1,000 miles an hour and very, very punky and very thrashy, you know. And it's great. But this is kind of like the original Chris Christopherson version, with a smattering of Johnny Cash, who also did it and scandalised everyone by saying, "Wishing Lord that I was stoned" on national television. Anyway, Sunday Morning Coming Down. I've always liked it because it's a kind of Sunday morning hangover song, and the feelings in it and the stuff it reports, it's some stuff that, you know, it's very familiar to me. I feel a lot of common ground there. Sunday Morning Coming Down. Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head. It didn't hurt. And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Then I fumbled through my closet for my clothes and found my cleanest dirty shirt. And I shaved my face and combed my hair and stumbled down the stairs to meet the day. Well, I'd smoked my brain the night before with cigarettes and songs that I'd been picking, and I lit my first and watched a small kid cussing at a can he was kicking. And I crossed the empty street and caught the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken. Lord, it took me back to something that I lost somewhere, somehow, along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, I'm wishing, Lord, that I was stoned, 'cause there's something in a Sunday makes a body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw a daddy with a laughing little girl that he was swinging. And I stopped beside the Sunday school and listened to the songs they was singing. And I headed back for home, and the bell was ringing. And it echoed through the canyon like the disappearing dreams of yesterday. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, I'm wishing, Lord, that I was stoned, 'cause there's something in a Sunday makes a body feel alone. and there's nothing short of dying. It's half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. And there's nothing short of dying, half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. Hey, hello Eddie, Cyril, Paul, Jim, Neil, Marion, Gary, Liz, and Pete, Martin, and Tom. Great, nice that you can be here. Hello Alan, thank you very much sir. Okay, this is by a Fife lassie, and one that I've got a lot of time for. I think she lives in America now, but one, I like the cut of her jib, although she's about the same age as my daughter. But I really like all the stuff that she likes, Ivor Cutler and stuff like that. She's in my booklet, she's a pretty cool girl. She's called Katie Tunstall, and this is my favourite of hers. A lot of people's favourite. They say, oh, woohoo. Woohoo, 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 woohoo. Oh, well, my heart knows me better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. Woohoo, woohoo. I came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Woohoo, woohoo. I felt a little fear upon my back. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Oh, when the big black horse had a look my way, said, hey, little lady, won't you marry me? Woo, woo-hoo. Oh, I said, no, 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 you're not the one for me. No, 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 you're not the one for me. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Oh, well, my heart had a problem in the early hours, so I stopped it dead for a beat or two. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. But I cut some cord and I shouldn't have done it, and I won't forgive me after all these years. Woo, woo. So I took it to a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Woo, woo. Now I won't come back 'cause it's so happy, and now I got a hope for the world to see. Woo, woo. I said no, no. No, 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 you're not the one for me. No, 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 you're not the one for me. Woo, woo. walked 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. I got a brand new house by the roadside, made from a rattlesnake hide. I got me a chimney made on top, made from a human skull. Come on, baby, take a walk with me. Tell me, who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? I got a tombstone hand and a graveyard mind. Just 22 and I don't mind dying. Said, who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? I rode a line to town to use a rattlesnake whip. Take it easy, Paul, don't give me no lip. Said, who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? Well, the night was dark, but the sky was blue. Down the alley, an ice wagon flew. Heard a bump, somebody screamed. You should have heard just what I seen. Said, who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? Well, Eileen took me by the hand, said, ooh, Paul, I understand. And, who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? I said, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You're not the one for me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You're not the one for me. No, no. No, 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 no. No, no. You're not the one for me. Big black horse and a cherry tree. I can't quite get there 'cause my heart's forsaken me. Hey. And that was a wee mash-up, I suppose. Who Do You Love and Black Horse and the Cherry Tree. Next one is a song by quite an unusual band called Alabama 3. And this is one of my favourites of theirs. They play country music, but they play country music which has got a big input from hip hop, dance music, techno, you name it, and a kind of slightly druggy feel quite a lot of the time. But this is Peace in the Valley, not to be confused with the Elvis one, which is more like a hymn. She spends too much time with herself every night, fooling around with her fears. In the morning she mourns the decline of her mind, drowning in a bottle of beer. It's too dangerous to think about what she might have been if she'd sung for salvation, if she'd danced on her dreams, danced on her dreams. And he don't know if he's a communist, a hedonist or a whore. Spent too much time riding on a white line to find the door. And if he did and he opened it, he'd find those letters in her hall. But he's too blind to read between the lines, 'cause the writing's on the wall. And there's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow, 'cause tonight he's gonna throw it all away. You feel so twisted, ain't never gonna fix it. You're just waiting for the light to shine on a brand new day. I got ecstasy, but I need some company. You got that mystery, I need a plan. All I got is a compromise and a bag full of alibis, as empty as a bottle of whiskey in my shaking hands. But there's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow, 'cause tonight we're gonna blow it all away. We feel so twisted, ain't never gonna fix it. We're just waiting for the light to shine on a brand new day. There's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. There's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. There's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. There's gonna be peace in the valley. Peace in the valley. There's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. 'Cause tonight he's gonna blow it all away. So that was Peace in the Valley. It's one of my faves of theirs, but they do a lot of good stuff, but I really like that one. Okie dokie, next one doesn't have any words. It's a wee instrumental that I stuck together myself quite some time ago. This is called Dicky Ticker Rag. And it has a history, but I won't bore you with it. Suffice it to say, I've just put some ragtime and blues playing together in different keys. And it's kind of got longer. The more often I've played it, I've found things in other keys to put in. So now I've covered most of the keys, except for F and B. They're not really great keys to play acoustic blues on. Anyway, Dicky Ticker Rag. old Dickie take a rag. Okie dokie. I think, yep, it's guitar changing time now. I haven't done this one for ages. I wrote this song in advance of, before the 2014 referendum. And I feel, well, quite prophetic really, because some of the stuff I said in the song has come true. And then some. It's called The Country of the Blind, and I was quite flattered when Tessa Ransford, now sadly not with us, who was the head honcho at the Scottish Poetry Library, wrote me a wee note saying that she really loved the lyric. She saw all sorts of things in it that I hadn't, which is quite common with songs when you write them yourself. I certainly wasn't thinking of Isaiah chapter so-and-so verse thingamabob when I wrote it. Country of the Blind, it is what it is, you know. Sun is hot and the day is golden. Dublin Street is all aglow. Eyes all closed on the crowded pavements, 'cause no one wants to know. Nothing moves in the townhouse windows, not one flicker of the blind. Mindless cars jam up this city, in the country of the blind. Moon shines cold on a frosty evening, stars burning in the sky. Empty streets and boarded shop fronts, disappointment in your eyes. You grew up with a chance of living, someday it would be your time. And those who ruled would not prove faithless, country of the blind. We are here with a glimpse of freedom, we can turn and walk away. But if you're weak or sick or hungry, you know they'll make you pay. Race to feel like second best, too much thinking was a crime. Work to subsidize the rich, in the country of the blind. I grew up with the same illusions, just like everybody else. I waved my flag and I took my medicine, and I learned to hate myself. Now I've seen that simple truth, I will no longer walk that line, hoping that it's not too late. Country of the blind. Long time since I played that, but it hasn't lost any resonance, for me anyway. Shouldn't say that myself, should I? Okay, this is one of the songs that I wrote this year, quite recently, and it's one of the ones that I'm really chuffed with, that I like. As you know, I write a lot of stuff myself, and then a few weeks later I think, nah, not keen on that now. Especially when you do stuff, especially like just on your own, you sometimes need other voices. Sometimes you need them to tell you, no, that's crap, because sometimes it is. And sometimes you need people to encourage you a wee bit and say, no, it's a good song. Maybe you could change this or that, which that's often quite good. But this one, I wouldn't change it if anyone said anything. I think it's, for me, it's really good, you know. And it's called Lasodie, and it's about a village just a few miles from here that's not there anymore, completely gone. The people who lived in it were miners and their families, and, well, when it wasn't economic, i.e. when other people couldn't get rich off their backs, eventually it disappeared. Despite the fact that they marched off and died in world wars, men from this tiny wee village. There's a wee war memorial where the road down to Lasodie used to be. If you want to take a walk down to Loch Fitty, it's there. And you just think, people are always talking about loyalty. Oh, this loyalty. Never seems to work the other way. Where was the loyalty to these people whose wee village was just because it wasn't economic anymore? But they were expected to march off and fight in the First World War for rich people's interests and live and die in the most horrible fear and terrible conditions that we can hardly imagine today. And of course the guys who didn't go were going down the pit in pretty awful conditions too, to make other people rich. Sorry, can't help it. It just, it rips my knitting, as we maiden ladies are wont to say, even thinking about it. Anyway, this is Lasodie. I kind of dreamed it up when I was over there walking the dog. It's a big, not a wasteland now, it's actually getting quite nice. Mother Nature takes over all these things and grows over them. It was an open cast for a while, and even that's disappearing now. So, Lasodie, and like I say, it's one of the ones I wrote that I like. Not a stone still stands among the grass and the winds, and the linties nest where the lassies would sing. Mary had a baby, she called it Tiger Tim. She took it to the river to see if it could swim. Now the song fades away and time turns the page, and a clown and a liar struts on the world stage. Struts on the world stage. Men marched to the front, some stayed and dug coal, to make the rich richer and to stay off the dole. Well, they ducked in the trenches, went down in the cage. Now a clown and a liar struts on the world stage. Struts on the world stage. Now this land is divided, it's dead in a ditch, from the lies of the media and the greed of the rich, while the heroes who work are the minimum wage, and a clown and a liar struts on the world stage. Struts on the world stage. Though the wind sweeps the old rose, though the ghosts can't be killed, a man's life was cheap then, now it's cheaper still. And the truth of this country never makes the front page, while a clown and a liar struts on the world stage. Struts on the world stage. Struts on the world stage. And that's Lasodi. Okay, last acoustic one, Neil Young song. Love this song. It takes me back. I mean, I learned it when After Gold Rush album came out, which was a pretty long time ago. And it's called Don't Let It Bring You Down. I hope you won't. By the way, I wrote all that clown and a liar stuff long before all the latest blooming Partygate stuff, as they're calling it in the papers. Anyway, this is Don't Let It Bring You Down. I'm going to stop there, folks. I should have capoed that. It's too low for my voice, which is a fragile little instrument at the best of times. I should have done this, made it a little bit higher. Sorry about that. Old man lying by the side of the road with the lorries rolling by. And the buildings scrape the sky. Cold wind ripping down the alley at dawn, and the morning paper flies. Dead man lying by the side of the road with the daylight in his eyes. Don't let it bring it down. It's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning, and you will come around. And you can really understand. Red light flashing through the window in the rain. Can you hear the sirens moan? White cane lying in a gutter in the lane. If you're walking home alone, don't let it bring you down. It's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning, and you will come around. Find someone who's turning, and you will come around. Don't let it bring you down. It's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning, and you will come around. Don't let it bring you down. Okay, just going to have a wee look. I see James Barney there and Julia that I haven't said hello to, so hi both of you. Hi Ron, Cass. Yeah, and Dave, hello. Okay. Wee bit, something a little bit different now. I think I've done it once before like this. It was a song, I originally did it as an acoustic number, but the original, well, not the original, the one that I really like, is Ray Charles singing it with Bonnie Raitt, and Bonnie Raitt playing some of her magnificent slide. And it's one of them songs they call a torch song. A love song. A kind of desperate love song. Do I ever cross your mind? You can tell, just from the name of it, what it's going to be like. Oh, well, the old faking remote control has decided not to work. Never mind. Do I ever cross your mind? Do I ever cross your mind? Darling, do you ever see some situation somewhere, somehow triggers your memory? Do you ever wonder what became of old? Do I ever cross your mind? Do you ever wanna know, do all dreams go on endlessly, or do they just run down somehow gradually become the custody of that melancholy jailer for the time? Oh no. Do I ever cross your mind? Do I ever cross your mind? Uninvited, when you're lonely, or does it only happen to me? Do you ever want to know what became of old time? I want to know. Do I ever cross your mind? Darling, do you ever want to know what became of all the time? Please tell me, do I ever cross your mind? Ever cross your mind? Oh, started working again. Ever cross your mind? Give me 2 ticks, folks. Okay, this is a song, from way back. I wrote it, I think I was living in a flat in Kirkcaldy maybe at the time. And there used to be a song, In the Good Old Summertime, a very jolly sort of song. This is called In the Good Old Summertime, but it's not quite as jolly. It's a kind of Thatcher's Britain song, you know. I wrote it when I still thought, that I could maybe get people who were doing okay and making a few bob to actually do some of my songs. And I kind of, in my vanity, I had, what are they called again, UB40 in mind for it. Needless to say, I don't suppose they ever got to hear it. My best efforts went in vain, but I still like it as a song, If I can find it. This is partly giving up the ghost, obviously. I should say that the drums on this are played by Pete Rabjohns, and a friend of his, Donald Lang, played the saxes, the 2 sax parts. And the rest is more or less me. Summer morning came away, the anesthetic didn't take. Switch your eyes on for a while and saw the city's evil smile. You breathed the poison air and walked across the street and round the block. You hang around and watch the clock and listen to the worthless talk in the good old summertime, with your copper in your hand. Will you beg or turn to crime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, destitution on your mind. Can you hear those death bells chime in the good old summertime? In the artificial warmth of shops and pubs and restaurants. Service with a plastic smile can fool you for a little while, but in the end it's all the same. Go downtown, sign your name, and in the meantime try to find a way to fill up empty time in the good old summertime, with your cowbell in your hand. Will you beg or turn to crime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, destitution on your mind. Can you hear the death bell chime in the good old summertime? Cowbell in your hand, will you beg or turn to crime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, destitution on your mind. Can you hear the death bell chime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, with your cowbell in your hand, will you beg or turn to crime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, destitution on your mind. Can you hear the death bell chime in the good old summertime? Okie dokie, one more to do, and I'm done. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along and supporting unlive music. This is it's a Bruce Springsteen song. And kids in Baltimore, Jack. I went out for a ride and I never came back. Like a river that don't know where it's flowing, I took a wrong turn and I just kept going. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Lay down your money and you play your part. Everybody's got a hungry heart. I met her in a Kingstown bar. We fell in love, we knew it had to end. Took what we had and we tore it apart. Now here I am down in Kingstown again. Everybody Everybody needs a place to rest. Everybody wants to have a home. Don't make no difference what nobody says. Don't nobody like to be alone. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Lay down your money and you play your part. Everybody's got a hungry. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Lay down your money and you play your part. Everybody's got a hungry heart. Okay, folks, thank you very much for staying with it. I hope everything was going okay. As far as I know it was, but what do I know, eh? Yep. If I missed anyone, sorry about that, but I think I actually said hi to everyone. And as I say, it's really nice that I'm still doing it and you still come and listen to me on a Sunday evening. So thanks very much and good night. See you next week. Take care of yourselves.